This is Ruslan Nurudinov.
Torokhtiy Media.
Hello guys, today we're in Uzbekistan, in Cherchik city at the State University of Physical Education and Sport, and you will not believe me, but I have the best guy for this occasion to have a tour at this amazing place. Please look at him. Come on. Mr. Uncle Russ, Olympic champion, world record holder, and just awesome guy. What is the plan for today?
Hi everyone, nice to see you here first. I show you all the things. I show you gym, I show you our base and our beautiful city maybe a little bit.
Maybe, and we're gonna talk. He will tell us a lot of cool stuff, so stay with us. Please press the like button, subscribe, and let's go.
Hello guys, I'm Ruslan Nurudinov, Olympic and world champion, and of course, world record holder. If you want to know my training routine and see all details of preparation of my last 242 kilogram clean jerk record, check my new interactive lifting log. 12 weeks in details, video of training, heavy lifts, and my all secret exercise, load analysis. Go for it now to Torokhtiy.com.
What does a typical day look like for the weightlifting team here at the Cherchik Training Center?
We wake up at 7:30 and head straight to weigh-ins. After that, breakfast and a bit of rest. Junior athletes usually have a morning session, while for older ones like me, it's mostly just the evening. Lunch is at 1 p.m., and the main training starts at 5:30 p.m. I always arrive earlier than everyone else. I need at least 40 minutes just to warm up. By the time I'm ready to touch the bar, most of the guys have already started or even finished their first exercise. I've always trained slowly, and with age, I've only gotten slower. That's why I'm usually the last one to leave the gym. I need more rest between sets and always finish long accessory training. After training, we have dinner, then 2 hours of free time. You can go for a walk or grab some ice cream. At 10 p.m., we take our vitamins, and lights out is at 11.
What recovery methods are used at the national team's training camp to keep athletes performing at their best?
For recovery, we have an ice bath, a sauna, and 2 physiotherapists who help with massage, stretching, and mobility work. It's pretty much the same as in most national teams. On Thursdays, we go to a nearby pool for swimming. Sometimes we're allowed to visit a reservoir about 50 kilometers from here, also for swimming and relaxation. There's also a river nearby with really cold water, which works just as well as an ice bath. That's how we handle recovery.
Over your career, you've won gold and bronze at the Asian Games, been a 5-time Asian champion, stood on the World Championship podium 6 times, and, of course, claimed Olympic gold in Rio. In your opinion, what's the difference between your first World Championship victory in 2013 and your most recent one in 2024 in Manama?
My first real medal was in Paris, 2011. Even though it was just a clean and jerk medal, it was the first ever World Championship medal for independent Uzbekistan. I was still under 20, a junior lifter, and honestly, I got burned by the emotions. I prepped for that meet training alongside Ilya Ilyin. We were on the same base and even made bets about who would lift more in Paris. In training, I hit 193 235ths in the 94 kilograms category, world record numbers at the time. But I lacked experience, and the competition quickly brought me back to reality. 2013 was different. It was a conscious breakthrough. After the 2012 Olympics in London, I started asking myself why I kept falling apart at major events. Before those games, I lifted 199 237ths in training, but lost a lot on the platform. We changed the approach, added more lifts from the rack, heavier pulls, and my clean and jerk became much more consistent. My snatch was still unstable in Rockwov, but the clean and jerk gave me confidence. That victory in 2013 was a mental turning point. 2024 in Manama was a whole new level of maturity. We spent 5 months preparing for that meet. A few days before the comp, my teammate Torokhtiy Nurudinov, who later became Snatch World Champion in the 109s, asked me, "Why are you even nervous? You'll win Worlds with a couple of lifts." I told him, "I'm not worried about placement. I'm worried about what I'll have to clean and jerk." He said, "You'll hit 230, that'll be enough." I didn't say anything out loud, but deep down I already knew I wanted more. "I only after setting clean and jerk world record," he said. Now, I understood why he was so nervous about this performance. I'd posted a 250 kilograms rack jerk to Instagram during training. I dropped it, but it felt light. I knew that if the snatch went well, we could seal the win with the second attempt and use the third to go over 240. And 242 kilograms became the ultimate moment. After my second attempt, I stepped off the platform, and my coach didn't even hesitate. "Go for 42. Yes." That moment was all about trust and total confidence. And honestly, the feeling of making that lift meant more than standing on the podium. That's what I love about weightlifting, not the medals, but the battle, the risk, and the rush of chasing big numbers. 230 doesn't give you that same adrenaline anymore. But once you cross the 240 line, you shake, you tremble, and you get hooked on that feeling.
It's well known in the weightlifting community that you're considered the king of the clean and jerk. But from your story, we've just heard that it wasn't always that way. How did you overcome that, both physically and mentally? And do you personally see yourself as the clean and jerk king?
I still don't consider myself the king of the clean and jerk, not yet. The only thing I can say, I'm not afraid of the clean and jerk. Even early in my career, when people said I was more of a snatcher, I was actually afraid of the snatch, not the clean and jerk. Back in Paris, I went for 225 kilograms with no fear. I couldn't finish the lift, but I wasn't scared of it. Physically, how things changed when we realized we'd never really practiced heavy double jerks. Before London, I'd clean and jerk and drop the bar and again clean and jerk. No attention to core stability. Sure, we did abs, but we didn't train deep core strength. When we started doing double jerks from around 160 kilograms, keeping the bar on the shoulders without dropping it, I struggled to even double 190 kilograms. Eventually, I reached 222 from the rack. I learned how to stand up, breathe, and only then jerk. That solved the problem I used to have. I'd clean the weight, stand up, and feel like I couldn't breathe. I had no front mass or bracing. The bar would crush me, and I'd rush the jerk. With this new approach, the physical side improved. Mentally, the real shift happened after London. I came to those Olympics thinking I'd already won, and that mindset was a big mistake. In Rio, everyone was saying the same thing: "You've got no competition, you'll win easily." But I told myself, and others, not to believe that. Until you hit the lift and the medal is around your neck, you haven't won anything. That shift in mentality made all the difference.
On your 242 kilograms world records clean and jerk, you showed a perfect dip and drive. How can athletes learn to stay strong and patient in the dip? It's a common mistake, especially among beginner lifters.
First and foremost, what helped me most was learning how to properly receive the bar, using the hips slightly back to absorb the load. That's the foundation. Right now, I'm refining my dip and drive by doing a lot of slow eccentrics and pause dips. In my opinion, pause dips are one of the best exercises for building control. There's no one perfect drill for the dip. It really depends on your current condition. I usually work at around 80% of my current max, not based on 242. The body can't handle that weekly. The key is being able to pause in the dip without needing a double dip or bounce. If you can stop in the dip and drive straight up from there without losing position, that means your jerk is improving and you found the right position.
We see on social media that you're actively preparing for the World Championships in Norway. How is the prep going? And why do you, a 3-time world champion, still feel the need to compete again?
Right now, the World Championships themselves aren't the main goal. What matters more is the path I'm on. My minimum target is the Asian Games next year, essentially the Asian Olympics. And if everything goes well, my ultimate goal is to reach the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. The 242 kilograms clean and jerk at the last World Championships really changed something for me. Before that, I kept blaming my age, saying I was done. But that lift whispered in my ear, "You've still got it." So I thought, why not give it another shot? At the moment, I'm in a preparation phase. I already completed one 5-month cycle up to May and hit 180 in the snatch and 210 in the clean and jerk. Could push more in the jerk. But honestly, and I say this bluntly, the C&J isn't my priority right now. First, I'm not afraid of it. Second, it's consistent. My real challenge is the snatch, and that's where most of my focus is right now. I don't know how clear it looks on social media, but my teammates keep saying my upper body is noticeably growing, which is crucial for the snatch. Snatch specialists typically have massive traps, shoulders, and forearms. I've always relied more on legs, back, and core, which I've strengthened, but now I'm trying to add more upper body power. I'm working hard to bring my pulls back to where they used to be, and I really hope to surprise people this year, hopefully with a snatch over 190 kilograms.
Right now, is your snatch limited more by strength and upper body power, or have you lost something in your technique? What happened to your 205 kilograms snatch PR?
Let's go back to after London 2012 times, when I snatched 191 kilograms at the 2018 Asian Games. I realized I was missing one key thing: speed. I had started relying more on technique and my naturally flexible body, especially in the receiving position. But my back position during the snatch was always awkward. My upper body would stay upright while my lower back was overarched. Now that I can analyze things more clearly, I understand that I've always lacked mid-back strength, especially in the lats. One of my coaches gave me an idea from Chinese school approaches. It helped me focus specifically on building up my lats. And while I wouldn't say my snatch is fully fixed yet, 2 big improvements have come. My receiving position is more balanced. My pull feels much more comfortable. I used to rely entirely on speed. My goal was to speed up bar from the floor of the bar as fast and as hard as possible and just hope for the best. But that hope for the best part often failed me. Now, I'm working to keep maximum speed up to the extension and then use stronger lats to control the bar after the pull and into the catch. That's the change I'm building toward.
You're one of the most creative influencers on social media when it comes to unusual exercises. Who comes up with them? How are these ideas born? And why do you train this way?
I only really opened up to this kind of training experimentation about 5 years ago. Before 25, my mindset was simple: snatch, clean, and jerk. That's all you need. But over time, I realized that constantly doing the classic lifts doesn't necessarily fix your problems. Now, we try different exercises regularly. We test them for 3 to 5 weeks. If they work, we keep them in the program. If not, we move on. As for the weird exercises, especially the ones with resistance bands, they didn't come out of nowhere. With age, intensity isn't what it used to be. The kind of firepower I had at 20 just isn't there now. So instead of pushing intensity, I often increase complexity. I've noticed that when you lift light weights in a simple way, your brain doesn't register it as real work. But if the movement is more complex, like with pauses, slow tempo, or instability, even 7, 5, 8, 5% feels like a max effort. Your brain thinks, that was serious. And you finish the session with the satisfaction of having truly worked hard, even without heavy numbers. Here are a few things that work well for me: pauses and tempo work. Band-resisted pulls, they help strengthen the lats and teach you to keep the bar close, because the band wants to pull it away. Unilateral banded presses, they expose imbalances between your dominant and weaker side. Interestingly, I've learned that your jerk front standing lead leg isn't always the dominant one. I've seen athletes whose rear leg is actually stronger. It's different for everyone.
Why do you include heavy snatch pulls in your training, but rarely do heavy squats or clean pulls?
Sometimes we go slightly off program and adjust based on how I feel. But even then, we don't go beyond 250 kilograms for clean pulls. 230 kilograms for snatch pulls. or 260 kilograms for squats, whether it's front or back squats. The main idea is not to chase big numbers, but to make the exercises more difficult. For example, I'll squat 260 kilograms with pauses or slow eccentric tempo, and that actually gives me more than a basic 300 kilogram squat. Why? Because when you pause, you lose all stored elastic energy, and then your muscles have to do all the work. This builds a stronger strength base and develops the explosive qualities we rely on so much in weightlifting.
Do you ever struggle with motivation or simply not feel like training?
Absolutely, I do struggle with it. Sometimes I just feel lazy, especially in the mornings. There are days when even getting out of bed feels heavy. But you know, when I was a kid, the word motivation didn't even exist in my vocabulary. After Rio, it wasn't just that I lacked motivation. I was honestly sick of the barbell. The turning point came at the 2017 World Championships in Anaheim, which I visited as a spectator. I was sitting in the stands, watching my teammates compete, and something inside me lit up again. Now, you know I've missed 2 Olympic Games. I could have made it to the last one in Paris if we'd played it right, cut down to 102, and done a few other things. What exactly went wrong doesn't matter anymore, but the feeling stayed. And with it came the hunger, maybe even the need for one more shot. After Rio, I thought, I've done it all. I'm satisfied. But watching 2 Olympics pass me by, that flipped a switch. Now I want back in. I want one more Olympic Games.
How did the tongue-out expression during your lift start? Is there a story or explanation behind it?
It started in 2013 and completely unintentionally. If you rewatch the 2012 London Olympics, there's no tongue. But by 2013, it appeared. And by 2016, everyone noticed it became my signature move. A lot of people asked if I was copying Turkish Olympic legend Halil Mutlu, since he also lifted with his tongue out. But honestly, I don't control it at all. I only see it the same way you do, in videos. During the lift, I don't even feel it happening. One of my sports psychologists gave an explanation I really liked. He asked, "When did the tongue thing start?" I said, "In 2013. Then he asked, "Have you ever had issues with breathing during competition?" And the answer was yes, at the London Olympics, especially in the warm-up room. I remember cleaning 210 kilograms and feeling like my heart rate was over 200. I couldn't catch my breath. It also happened in 2011 and 2012. But when the tongue started coming out in 2013, those breathing issues disappeared. The psychologist offered a theory. Your brain found a way to help you breathe. It started pushing your tongue out on its own.
Thoughts on new weight categories and Olympic and non-Olympic categories?
We've already been through the situation with 10 bodyweight categories and only 5 Olympic ones. In Paris, we saw the confusion it caused. A lot of athletes from 96 and 109 kilograms dropped to 102. Some were cutting hard, others were bulking. I think we're going to see the same situation again. In my opinion, we now have too few heavyweight categories, just 94, 110, and plus 110 key, and the gap between 94 and 110 is huge, a 16 kilograms difference, which creates serious challenges. Guys who are in the 102S now face a choice, either cut hard or gain serious weight. Those who are closer to 109 will likely dominate, at least in the beginning. As for changing weight classes every Olympic cycle, I'm not sure that makes sense. I believe an athlete needs at least 1 or even 2 full cycles to fully develop and realize their potential in a given weight category.
Is the new 110 kilograms weight class comfortable for you? And what will your ideal training body weight be?
Yes, the new 110 kilograms category feels very comfortable for me. I think I'll build up to around 117 to 118 kilograms body weight. That said, I'm not fixated on gaining just for the sake of weight. For me, the priority is adding lean muscle mass, and I'm already close to my limit. My dietitian says I likely won't go beyond 88 kilograms of muscle mass. Right now, I'm at 85.7 kilograms. According to my last body composition test, I have around 3,500 free calories per day. Add in training, which burns about 1,000 calories, and I need to be eating 4,500 calories daily to maintain and grow. So far, it feels great. I'm very comfortable.
There are some new names on Team Uzbekistan. Who would you highlight as the most promising?
Right now, our team is mostly made up of young guys, born in the 2000s or later. Only a few of us from the older generation are still around. Myself, Akbar Juriev, and Adkamjon Irgashev. They're from the late 90s, but still, it's a different generation. One standout talent is Sharafuddin Amridnov. He won gold in the snatch at the last Worlds. He's progressing fast. The clean and jerk is still his weaker point, but we're working hard on it right now.
Welcome there. This is our base in Chechik. This place where I grew up. This place signs from 2012. So more than 13 years I'm living here and training here. So this is a small part of our team. We live there together, eat together, sleep together. No. So train together, win together, and sometimes lose together, and support for each other. Now, let's see what and our guys most love in our training.
Torokhtiy Media.
Every week, your team has theory sessions and load analysis meetings. Can you explain what those sessions involve and why they're important?
This idea came from one of our coaches. He introduced it about 3 or 4 years ago, and honestly, it was a game changer for me. I think it's especially important for the younger generation of lifters. I'm speaking from experience. When I was 20, I didn't really understand what I was doing. Sure, I was snatching and clean and jerking, but I had no clue how it all worked from a theoretical standpoint. After Rio, around 2017 to 2018, I finally had some time to dig into the basics, read articles, books, and started understanding the why behind the training. But for most young athletes, theory just isn't interesting to them yet, and that's a big mistake. These weekly meetings are split into 2 parts, technical theory and training load analysis. It's not just about what we do, but why we do it and how it works. And visualization is a key part of it. When you understand a movement with both your body and your brain, progress comes faster. The second part, load analysis, isn't for the coaches, it's for the athletes. Coaches analyze our training every day anyway, but most athletes don't sit down at the end of the week and compare what was planned to what was actually done. That's where this process helps. In these sessions, we look at what was written in the weekly plan, what was actually completed, where things deviated, and why. There's also flexibility. If you're feeling good, you can go +5 or +10 car on a lift, as long as it fits within the planned volume. For example, if it says 150 kilograms of 4 sets, you can go 155, but still within 4 or maybe 5 sets max. We're not chasing numbers, we're training smart. The biggest value of the system is that it teaches self-awareness. You don't just check off a workout, you understand what kind of week you really had. And that's what helps you grow as an athlete.
Team Uzbekistan often collaborates with coaches from other countries. Right now, team is working with a coach from Egypt. Can you share more about that experience? What have you learned? And what's your perspective on this kind of international cooperation?
The main reason we collaborate with coaches from other countries is because we want to develop our own national school of weightlifting. Right now, we have established systems like the Bulgarian school, the Soviet school, and now a strong European school is forming. The Americans are doing their own thing, and the Chinese have basically reinvented weightlifting altogether and are constantly reinventing it. So we bring in coaches from different countries to learn, compare, and adapt. We gather pieces of knowledge from each and store them in our own toolbox to help shape a distinct Uzbek system. Our foundation is rooted in the Soviet school, which emphasizes building a strong base and volume. When we experimented with elements of the Bulgarian system, which is more intensity-focused, we saw that by combining both approaches, slightly lowering weekly intensity, but keeping volume and base work, we got a noticeable performance boost. Then came collaboration with a Kazakh coach Erzis Boltayev, which introduced elements of the Chinese and European methods. For example, he used to train with Ilya Ilyin in Poland quite often, and some of that influence trickled into our system too. A good example of this hybrid approach is Akbar Jurayev. He's from a younger generation and started developing as an athlete in 2017, when our training plans had already become more refined and diversified. I, on the other hand, started earlier and had a more classic Soviet base. So today, we're not copying anyone. We're building something of our own by learning from the best in the world.
Thoughts on press-out rule?
I don't have any issues with the press-out rule itself. It makes sense and motivates athletes to improve their technique and upper body strength. In our team, we've also started focusing more on exercises that strengthen the arms and reinforce the receiving position. But in my opinion, enforcing this rule too strictly is a mistake. When you're lifting 230 to 240 kilograms or more, it's simply unrealistic to expect the body to handle it without any movement. Minor arm wobbles shouldn't be treated as a failure. They're just part of human physiology. Especially when some athletes are lifting 2.5 to 3 times their body weight, expecting a completely motionless lockout is not always realistic. In 90% of those cases, there will be some degree of movement. That should be acknowledged, not punished.
Ruslan, what's going on?
Oh, we came to lunch. Doing some plov today?
Yes, yes, plov.
I know what you want.
You'll be a star. Hello, Olympic weightlifting. So you said this is like a weekend menu, and what usual like working day menus look like?
We have huge variety of healthy carbs and 2-3 protein options. Chicken, fish, beef. What carbs? Rice, buckwheat, bulgur, pasta, a lot. What difference between breakfast, lunch and dinner? Well, breakfast will be more sweet. Also, it can be some porridge option, pancakes, but definitely eggs, cottage cheese also will be included. We have plenty of choices. I also work with a nutritionist and he designed all menu for me. So you have your food portions. And who do measurements of all macros? Kitchen staff. They know exactly what I need. Meat, rice or pasta. Now all is clear. Enjoy your meal.
By the way, you travel all your life. Can you name your top 3 countries that you like most?
Turkey.
Okay.
Korea. Australia, but I have remarked that in Australia everything is so expensive that that's really a problem. But
Okay.
by the way, this, like, I don't know, most beautiful country that I was.
But Australia not only expensive, it's also upside down.
Yeah. Hello guys, I'm Ruslan Nurudinov, Olympic and world champion, and of course, world record holder. If you want to know my training routine and see all details of preparation of my last 242 kilogram clean and jerk record, check my new interactive lifting log. 12 weeks in details, video of training, heavy lifts, and my all secret exercise, load analysis. Go for it now to Torokhtiy.com.
These days, beginner in weightlifting isn't always a 10-12-year-old kid. It could be someone in their 40s who discovered the sport and fell in love with it. What are 3 pieces of advice you'd give to newcomers like that?
The strength training is incredibly beneficial for your health. Building muscle mass is one of the best ways to counter hormonal imbalances and other age-related issues. So this is more of a reminder than advice. Lifting is good medicine. And in Olympic weightlifting, you're not only gaining strength, you're also developing mobility. Don't obsess over lifting heavy right away. A lot of people come into the sport eager to test big weights, but your focus should be on proper technique and staying healthy. Master the movement first. That's what will benefit you the most long-term. Mobility is non-negotiable. Many new athletes want muscle and strength, but don't realize how much weightlifting depends on mobility. This sport is closer to gymnastics than to bodybuilding, so please always work on mobility and flexibility. That's what will unlock your progress and prevent injuries, and most importantly, enjoy it. If you've come to this sport by choice, then let yourself enjoy the process. Have fun with it. That's the key to staying consistent.
Guys, keep lifting, stay strong, don't forget to subscribe and give me a like. Bye bye.
Torokhtiy Media.